Greetings and welcome back to Let's Play Stellaris Iron Baby mode. The small one is currently asleep, but he will most certainly get up during this episode eventually, so don't worry, there will be background noise, I promise you. Right, we last time discovered how to set up a game, how to create a species, and well, I don't think we went too deep into species creation. Nevertheless, we also had a look at the UI, or like parts of the UI, resources, basically the top bar, and had a brief look at the outlier, and basically had a brief introduction in exploration. Now we already are expanding. We ended up the last episode by creating an outpost, claiming the star system as our territory, and now you see the color coding here. And it's usually good in Stellaris to have a territory that includes neighboring systems. You can, in theory, I could, for instance, fly over here to Charton and build a starbase there, claiming that territory, even though it's not connected to the rest of my realm yet. However, it costs more. We've seen that we have to pay influence and alloys. The alloy costs, of course, are always the same, but the influence costs increase by a large margin if you start claiming isolated system, and the cost goes up the further they're away from the rest of your territory. So usually it's a good idea to, at least at the beginning, claim neighboring systems. But of course, if there are some very juicy territories somewhere else, especially on wormholes and so on and so forth, you might want to go for those without having to expand your empire there entirely. Right, so what are we going to do next? Here it's fairly easy. Our construction ship is going to build 2 new stations here, 1 research station, 1 mining station. I'm going to start with the research station. We have a planet that is a desert world, which is good because desert worlds are our preferred habitat. So there are different ways to do this. You could go to your shipyard and build a colony ship the same way you build any other ship, and then when it's done you can send it over to the planet in question. It's easy, however, to just click on the planet and then colonize. Then there you have the option what colony ships to create, either with our robots species or with our drone species, and usually from where they are going to be sent. Right now we lack the alloys, so we have to wait a little before we can even build a colony ship. Either that, or we can spend some energy credits on the problem. What is it, 400 we need? Here with 300, 1,400. This is basically our entire stockpile, but I'm going for the 125, so it's 10 months, around about 9 months before we have it, but it's alright. I think we can wait a little bit. Right, so the other things that happened here, we already talked a bit about leaders. One of our leaders got a level up, and it is no specific leader. Usually when this happens, you will see the picture of a leader. We currently only have basically, we'd have a few leaders here, right? But since we are a machine intelligence, our council consists of these weird nodes instead of actual leaders. Basically the same rules apply anyway, so they are considered leaders in regard to like leveling up. You usually get a choice of 2 or 3 items, which can be either a new skill or upgrading a skill that you already have. This quote-unquote leader doesn't have any skills yet, so we have to go for something new, and I'm not super happy about this. I don't care about the mineral productions via jobs very much. Let's go with the other one, because I don't really I haven't played machine intelligence in a while, so I don't know how stability and amenities work exactly. Maybe this way we can get around the whole thing. Yeah, this is going to happen every now and then when you have a level up for a leader. They go up to level 10 and not beyond. They might gather negative traits as well. We have a special agenda. We talked about this, that can help us getting rid. Oh no, that's actually the edicts. That can help us to get rid of negative traits. You don't have this in non-hive mind societies, because in pretty much every other society, the method of getting rid of negative traits is just wait until the leader dies of old age. This is not going to happen to our nodes here, though, and to our robots in general. Right. So the other thing is traditions. So traditions can be a little overwhelming, especially if you have a bunch of DLCs. Basically, you have these slots where you select the general theme of the traditions that you're going to get for the next couple of perks, and you want to finish the topic. What is it called? It's called traditions, but the aptitudes. Yeah, aptitudes they call it. Okay, so traditions are these general topics, like, no wait, I'm talking BS. They're called traditions. So the topics are called traditions, and the perks within are also called traditions. That is a little bit confusing, isn't it? Right. Let's call them categories, tradition categories. So you pick a category, and each category has a number of traditions. I think it's always 5, right? And each of them will get you different bonus. The categories themselves give you a bonus when you pick them up, and they give you a special bonus when you finish all the traditions, when you get all the traditions inside. Every time your Unity reaches a threshold, you get a new pick. The new pick can be a new category, as we are doing now because we don't have any category yet, or a tradition from one of the categories you already picked. Usually I go with one tradition and with one category and try to finish it before going to the next. The reason for this is, once you finish the category, that is picking all the traditions from the category, you get an ascension perk. Ascension perks are very powerful bonuses, and they are free. Every time you finish one of the categories, you get one pick here. They are very, very good, so you want as many of them as swiftly as possible. But it depends on playstyle, on situation. Sometimes you start with a category, but then stuff happens and you need to switch to something else. There are plenty of them, and they depend very much on which one is good, depends very much on the play style you choose. Now, there are a few that are usually decent picks for generic early game. One is expansion, which helps you expand. What a surprise. Colony development speed, we're going to talk about this once we actually send our colony ship to our first new planet. Basically makes it cheaper to expand, reduces the penalties from a large empire, which is not bad at all. We might pick it up eventually. There's also discovery, which is very good. It speeds up the surveys of our science vessels, but also makes it faster and more likely to find anomalies, but then it also gives us a boost to our research with flat bonus in the end of 10% more research speed. That is very good, especially if you a bit concerned about possibly getting out-tagged. And there is it now aptitude? No, aptitude is the leader thingy. How they did name it. Oh, I'm crying out loud, I can't find it. I'm sorry, give me a sec. There used to be another thing. I should have prepared better for this. Alright, so it's probably only those two then. Is it synchronicity? Oh yeah, it looks totally different than... Yeah. So it totally is called different in a non-machine machine society. That's why I was a little confused. I think it's usually called adaptability or something like this, which makes it easier to colonize planets that are not perfectly suited for your species. This is something you usually don't pick first. It's usually not your first pick, but once you explored your surrounding space a little bit and you found plenty of planets that are all just rubbish for your species, then you might go for adaptability. So basically for us now it's either discovery or expansion. I think we are going to go for discovery. I want a decent tech head start. We might then either go to expansion if we haven't met anyone else yet, or supremacy if we have, in order to be a bit more scary when it comes to military. So let's go with discovery, which gives us new agenda, new edict, and the anomalies. The research of anomalies is 20% faster, which is
Council agenda available.
Super great yet, but the first perk is usually not amazing anyways. So the new agenda is chart the unknown, which increases survey speed and increases anomaly discovery chances, which is not too bad. After we finish the voice, how long does it take? Some time. We actually might consider doing this right now, because this is good at any point, but this is actually, and we only just started. So let's chart the universe. That's probably more interesting anyways at the moment. And the edict, now it's actually a good idea to talk about edicts and policies. Edicts are passive bonuses that you can turn on and off. They have a cost, they have an upkeep cost, which is on the right hand side, which is often unity, but later certain edicts might have energy upkeep costs and so on and so forth. You have a edict fund, which is a number of points of unity that you can spend on the thing, which will not cost you upkeep. Right now, without the funds, if we would start either of the edicts, we would have basically no more unity income, which means no more traditions, which is bad. But right as it stands, we could start both. Not right now, for whatever reason. You need to have the initial cost here, or the upkeep cost, which you don't have at the moment. You don't pay them those 15 points. I don't know why they did this, but well, anyway. There's also policies, which are basically laws you can play around with. I'm not going to go into grand detail here right now. They are kind of self-explanatory for the most part. You don't really need them you don't really need to pay attention. Basically, every now and then something might come up that will refer to one of these policies. Like, for instance, you found a pre-FTL society, you want to include them in your society, but you cannot because one of the policies is set to a certain value. And the decision, the grayed out part of the decision will tell you exactly what you would have to change in order to do this. I would, for your first playthrough, basically ignore this, or if you have a few minutes that you want to spend on this, just read them through. As I said, unless you have something very specific in mind, they are usually, you can just basically forget about them. All right, and especially in our machine society, they are particularly irrelevant. Okay, so we can basically continue now. We are waiting for alloys and for surveys. I will again speed up the whole thing a little bit. We have recovered artifacts from an ancient alien civilization on Typical 3, so up here. I hate the fact that there is no, like, usually there is, quite often these windows, there is a button here with a camera that makes you jump to the system. I wish they would include this in anomalies, because right now, I mean, it's super easy. I only have 2 science vessels that are really close to one another, but eventually a science vessel are going to be somewhere in the universe, and it really matters if you find something that is close to your system or if it's far, far away. Anyway, from what we have translated so far of their language, we have learned that the aliens called themselves the Irasian Concordat. They were an interstellar power that held sway over this region of the galaxy a little over 1 million years ago. They appear to have been 6-limbed mammalians, and there are several references to some sort of plague called the Javorian pox, which swept across their empire with devastating results, possibly leading to their extinction. Dang it. I know this quest line, I know what the result can be, and I started a single play game, which I'm not recording, where I really, really would wish for this event line. Bollocks. Anyways, it is interesting, but it's just not gonna help us a lot. So in our situation log now we have the precursors Eurasians. You usually get 1 precursor quest line. I think when I say usually, I mean basically every time, which is basically you find the remnants of a civilization that's already long gone. It will lead you on a scavenger hunt through usually your part of the galaxy. It will take quite some time, usually well into the mid game, and once you finish it, you get something cool usually, and it's a nice story. So yeah, there are plenty of those. I think DLCs also add a few more, so it's usually nice. Not barely ever game changer, but nice. Right, so we're still surveying, not doing much else.
Construction complete.
Yeah, now we can build a mining station here. Oh, there's some progress with our first contact. We found the Tianki, spaceborne life form, which is called Tianki, and those which we call Tianki. Yeah, I misread. Which are called Tianki. How would you know? We've just discovered them. Are docile creatures capable of assessing some lower dimension of subspace. They roam from system to system with remarkable ease. They graze on gases common to the upper layers of many gas giants. It is highly unlikely, to say the least, that this is their only food source, but intake of other nutrients has yet to be observed. They will not attack unless provoked. They can safely be ignored. Right. So usually you have 2 options here. We don't, whatever. So, but we get a new research technology, and we get already 10% bonus on that research technology. So when we start researching this, we only need to research the last 90%. Also, since we successfully finished the first contact, we get some influence. Yay!
A foreign entity has decrypted our communication.
That is a lie. They did not decrypt our communications. Right. Do we have any other first contact? Don't think so. No. So our 2 envoys are again idle. Which is fine. Oops. Continue.
Anomalous
They will
surface
have their
variable
hands full
detected.
soon enough. Right. Yeah, now we get our 20% bonus on the
System survey complete.
anomaly. Oh yeah, here we go. That is good. So I will, once this guy is done with the station, I will
Construction
definitely have to
complete.
claim this system with our... That would be ridiculous if a different species came here and then claimed the system before we did. So our main leader has a level up. He already has logistic programming, ship upkeep, and army upkeep. We could upgrade this, but at the beginning the upkeep of our fleet is next to nothing. Minerals again. Why would I care about minerals? Leader experience gain, that is good. Yeah, let's say that's good. I mean, our leaders are basically mortal. Most of our leaders are mortal, so we will hit level 10 eventually anyways, but I'll take it because right now they don't have this, and the decision of the agenda that we can do in order to get rid of negative traits also decrease their experience points. So we are deleting parts of our leaders. So yeah, this way we get the experience back faster. That is actually an interesting way of debugging. Like once Windows is messed up too much, my system is messed up, I will just delete random stuff from my hard drive, from the
Construction complete.
Windows directory. I hope for the best. Quantum catapult secured. We have finally secured the system and region around the broken quantum catapult. Now at last we can send engineers to start the repair work necessary to bring the stolen structure back to life. As I said, I have never done this before. Oh, only 2,500 alloys. Yeah. Probably gonna take a little. So build the... Now we have 2 mining stations, or potential mining station here. One will get 3 energy, one for minerals. If I don't care in which order they are built, I can just tell them build both, and our guy will do that. We also have an archaeological site. Last time I had a big issue pronouncing that word. That is good. Archaeological sites are often good. They can be negative, but most of the time they're good. But they will keep your science vessel that you send there in order to dig up the stuff
System survey
busy
complete.
for a long time. And for whatever reason you need a science vessel, you cannot, build an outpost there or whatever. Right. While conducting their survey and Tibacco 4 up here, the ISS Scholar detected the remnants of an automated shipyard in orbit. It is at least 1,000 years old and seems to have been subjected to a heavy missile barrage, but one of the manufacturing bases is still in working conditions. Science Officer Unit P2 is confident that power can be restored to the shipyard, but would be a significant project. Right.
Situation log
So
adjusted.
this means we have to send a construction ship there, which we're going to do as soon as we're done here. Oh my goodness, we also have finished our survey here. Right, so trying to wrap up our borders. By the way, you can queue commands. Right now he's building mining station. If I now give him a new command, he will still continue building the mining station unless I stop the action here with this icon. So I can easily directly tell him, to go to this system and do the thing there. That is a bit confusing sometimes. Like they said, power can be restored, but it is a difficult thing, and then a voice said new situation has appeared, and that always means there is something new in the situation log. So I would be able to research something here, and I'm clicking on this grayed out, but only if there's a construction ship. Oh, give me a sec. So I would be able to research or like try to repair the automatization if there's a construction ship in orbit of that planet. So I could now pick my research ship, send it to this planet, and then click on then the research button here would not be grayed out anymore. I could click it, or I can make it much easier. Just right click on the system, tell them research project and system, then the construction ship will automatically not only move to the correct planet, but also the research will start immediately. Right now it doesn't tell me what it is, but probably it's engineering. So it will take up the slot of one of the 3 research branches until the project is finished, and then research immediately commences. Right.
Construction complete.
Yeah.
Technological acquisition successful.
1,000 things again. Research. So yeah, this is frequency tuning. That is the thing we got from learning about those space whales. But the energy siphon it's a weapon, and it's an okay early game weapon, but it's not great, I'd say. I will go for the pop growth speed. Pop growth is never going to be our greatest asset, but if you get it early on, it's nice. And this icon here means that there is research hidden behind this research. So if I never pick up genome mapping, there's other research I will never see in the game. So I should pick it up early on to benefit from the growth speed, but also to see whatever may come afterwards. Also, we got a new tradition. The right branch is mostly for leaders, a little bit of research. The left branch is for surveying. So I will go for this first, picking up survey speed and disengage chance. Disengage chance means how likely it is that a ship can evade an enemy, which might happen. Sometimes you jump into the system and there's immediately someone shooting at you, and now our science vessel have 50% higher chance of surviving that. Right. I've totally forgot about our colony ship. I will send the cyborgs over there, because the cyborgs will grow by themselves. The robots will have to be built. The building that is required can be constructed as soon as we have the drone here. So while we're waiting on the ability to build more robots, the drones already can reproduce. So now it's a bit of a waiting game again. I'm sure there are Min-maxers that can do this much faster and more efficiently. For instance, building a second construction ship would be an option, but we are trying to save up on alloys as much as possible. I get the impression this might actually be not an exit after all.
System survey
the
complete.
leader pool means the leaders that can be bought, that can be hired, and there was always a specific there are specific leaders. Not every time you click on hire new leaders, there will be different ones, but the pool refreshes every now and then. Not super relevant right now. This is most certainly an exit. Right, so let's investigate or survey towards the other exits of our territory, like the other things that seem to be exits at least. If that is a dead end, that would be amazing. So now our construction ship is here and does the repair thingy. Let me double check. No, it doesn't take any. Yeah, this one doesn't take any of the slots from our research, but others might do. So just keep that in mind. Right, our Legion mode, probably the thing that is. Oh, it's an Admiral. Okay, so for fleet stuff, naval capacity is, in theory, it's good. Like as I said, we can only have 20 corvettes right now. We're not even near the 20 corvettes. We'll build one soon, but there are also plenty of technologies and other ways to increase this. I'm not super fond of that, but more damage and faster sublight speed is very important. Faster sublight speed, a significant amount of travel time is actually the sublight journey. See, if we want to go from Tibakar to 0, then our ship would jump from Tibakar to Olum, and then it has to fly from here to there. Those 2 points are relatively close to one another, but if that point was here, it would have to cross the entire solar system. So sublight speed is very relevant for overall travel time. That means that the sublight engines are also really useful. So our research has increased a bit, and now stuff is, I don't want to do more on survey speed, we're already doing enough there. Energy credits, yeah, not super relevant at the moment, but improved deflectors, those are our shields. I will talk about the shields in a bit when we have a look at our ship designer. No, that doesn't seem to be, it does seem to be an exit, which is a shame. I'm wasting so much time over here. But this is a weird starting position, quite frankly. Yeah, the assembler has successfully struck power to the automated shipyard over Tibakar 4. The facility immediately resumed its interrupted construction order, using what materials it had on hand to build 3 advanced radars, of an unknown design. Unfortunately, the engine facility broke down completely afterwards and has been deemed beyond repair. We have sent crews to the new ships and commissioned them to our fleet. So I don't need to build more ships, because we got 3 more raiders. They have a overall military power of 339, which is a very abstract value. It takes into account various bits and bobs of the ship design, but it's so abstract that it's not a great measurement. It's really just a rule of thumb. You can beat an army or a fleet that has twice the military power just because you have just the right technology to counter their stuff. But just as a rule of thumb, this is 339, this is 225, so we more than doubled our military power with this event. Great. So now let's build a new starbase over here, so we can colonize that planet too, meaning we need another 400 alloys. Yeah, this is an exit. This is unfortunately an exit. It splits up. Righto. But I do want that we have another one black hole there. One black hole is actually enough, I'd say. Oh, for crying out loud. One more jump and then I'm finished. There's another black hole. I forgot about this ship entirely. No, they're surveying. Okay.
Anomalous surface variable detected.
Fine. Anomaly is good, it's good. So yeah, let's be done with this. Yeah, I think this is the end of the first part on expansion. We had a bit of a look at creating more outposts, securing our borders after, identifying our borders. finding out which borders are worthwhile defending, which ones are, open for discussion until we find out where our neighbors are going to be. I think next video we'll have a look at creating a colony and dealing with a fledgling colony. I hope you enjoyed the video. Have a good day. See you next time. Bye bye.